I tell you, I get no respect at all. It's 7 o'clock. It is Ken and Deb here. Good morning. And good morning as we live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter this morning.
Grab your coffee. Join us.
That's right. It's the mid-morning show coffee break. And so you can join us there. Of course, if you're driving, don't do that. Join us, stay on the radio here.
I guess we're on YouTube too, right?
Yeah, I said YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook.
I don't know where my mind goes.
Yeah, it's all right. Yes, but you are correct. We are on YouTube
Sharp
as well.
as a tack.
That's right. You go to Moody Radio Quad Cities. Look that up on YouTube, and you can find our channel there. Anyway, yeah, great to have you along with us. It's music now from Natalie Grant at 7:01. Here is B1 on Moody Radio Quad Cities. Sorry.
That does remind you of bingo. B1, yeah.
Oh.
So, do you know what else today is? It's actually the month, the whole month.
Okay.
It's National Napping Month.
Woohoo!
The whole month of August. I wonder why the month of August is napping month.
I wonder if it's just because it's so hot and you don't feel like going outside and
okay.
doing anything. And so it's better off to just stay inside where it's cool and take a nap.
Yeah, but in the winter it's so cold you can't go out and do anything, so you might as well just stay inside and take a nap.
So then we have a second month of napping in, say, January. I don't know.
Anyway, where's your favorite place to nap?
Yeah, there you go. I know that our new pastor's wife just recently, I think it was Friday, put up a hammock in their backyard. She showed pictures of them
that's
putting up their
delightful.
hammock, one of their under some nice big trees, and so that's always nice. You know, when you're in the shade,
Oh, yeah.
a little bit of a breeze going,
Mm-hmm.
and you get in like a hammock or something like that. Oh yeah, I like that. I used to like when we'd go like camping or something like that, and we'd be sitting in the camper, and it'd be nice and cool or relatively cool in the shade, have the windows open and a nice breeze. It was always nice to take a nap there too. So those are my two spots.
Mine is in the living room. We have a big comfy couch
Yeah.
that you just sink into, and it just goes around you, and you're just like in a little nest.
Deb starts purring.
I love it. That's my napping
A
place.
napping spot.
Hey, good morning to Jerry and Dave and Heidi and Lori.
Yeah.
Good morning. Thanks for listening in. And thank you, Jordan. Guess
That's
what
right.
we received, Jordan?
Jordan, we got it.
You are our hero. Thanks so much. We appreciate that. We're getting ready to dig in here in a little bit.
Yeah. I think we ought to do that right now since we're in the mid-morning show coffee
You
break.
think so?
I think so.
You want me to open it?
I'm not touching it. You
Okay.
touch it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that looks
Mr.
good.
Goodbar. Go ahead.
You go ahead and take it.
Ladies
'cause-
first.
No, but I don't want to touch it. I don't think we're supposed to touch stuff. You want to be social.
Just give it here. I don't want...
Well, that's I put that on top of something. I'm trying to
We
be
got 5
responsible.
seconds here, Deb. Natalie Grant, there is B1 on Moody Radio Quad Cities at 7:04. It is good to have you along with us. Hey, as we're live streaming right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And so last week, we have this kind of running gag here on the show that Jeremy will sometimes and often take Deb's chair, and without her knowing it. And then she'll be later in the show wanting to sit down and her chair's gone. And so that's been kind of an ongoing thing. Well, then on Facebook, we said, keep an eye on Jeremy, you know. And so Jordan caught Jeremy taking the chair. Well, other people did as well. But Jordan said, I'm going to send some chocolate. So he sent some chocolate.
Yeah, so thanks, Jordan. That's so nice. And I got it divided up a little bit here
There we go.
in a safe way.
Yes.
It's so hard to be in this COVID-19 era because I'm so used to just spreading germs. You know,
Yeah, without thinking about it.
without thinking about it.
Yeah.
Touching things without
Sure.
even thinking about it,
Yeah.
because I've had 60 years experience.
Yes. Oh.
So anyway, we're trying to be good.
Speaking of sharing things, we're also talking this morning about sharing the gospel. And we're doing this because we just got done visiting with John Sorensen from Evangelism Explosion. And so we'd really like to know, hey, who shared the gospel with you
Yeah.
and made a difference in your life by sharing the gospel with you? You know, it might have been a pastor, could have been a coworker, whatever.
There's a Greg Long song that talks about 15.
Yes.
That on average people are exposed to the gospel about 15 times
Yeah,
before they receive it. And so there might have been a bunch of people
sure.
that shared with you, and you can look back and you say, yeah, this person really planted a seed in my life.
Right.
Give us a call and share with us about those experiences that you've had and those gospel seeds that were planted in your life. My sister was the one that asked me if I wanted to go to heaven.
Really?
Yeah.
I
So
never
it
knew
was my
that.
sister that introduced me to the gospel.
Wow, that's cool.
I mean, I was just real little. And so I think I've recommitted my life and reaccepted the Lord
Yeah, sure.
many times after that when I was a little bit older. But originally it was her that just shared with me how she didn't want me to go to hell,
Yeah.
and that she wanted me to go to heaven.
Wow, that's very cool. So anyway, share with us your story. Who shared the gospel with you? Call or text 800-221-9356.
Oh, I think we have a picture. Oh, a nappy. Oh, what a cute doggy napping on the couch. Another one of those wonderful comfy couches.
Yeah, there you go.
You just sink into it. There's nothing like it.
Heidi, I would recommend you don't do that. She says, actually, I can't nap unless I'm behind the wheel of a car.
Oh, no, that is just
Don't do that.
not. No.
There have been times, though, when I've been driving home, since I have that, almost an hour drive home, where it's been, and it's particularly later in the week, when we have been going all week long, when I get really sleepy. And there's a couple of spots that I have designated as my napping spot, should I need to pull
Yes,
over
yeah.
and just take a little snooze for 15 minutes or whatever. And so I have a couple of spots in the back roads where I can pull off and take a snooze. There was one time I was taking a nap in one of these spots, and this spot is over by it's by a grain bin.
Okay.
But it's really out of the way, and it's just it's just a gravel lot around it, and it's right off the road. And so I was napping there, and I woke up, and there were like two semis around me, and I didn't even know that they were there. I must have been really snoozing.
Oh, wow.
And so they were there to get grain out of the grain bin.
Frightening to think about, Ken.
I woke up and I went, sorry, I'm leaving now. I took off.
It's like, what's with that guy?
Right. Had the seat laid back, just going.
Oh,
just going to town.
Goodness. Oh,
Anyway, it was better that I do that
definitely.
than fall asleep. So
Yeah. So, where's your favorite place to nap? And do you take naps? Some people can't take naps, but I am a napster.
Deb's the original napster.
I'm experienced.
10 minutes after 7 o'clock, it is Ken and Deb here. And, I know that there's been a lot of, because of COVID-19, a lot of activities have been canceled or postponed or things like that. But there's starting to be a few activities that are popping up that people are still having. And so maybe you want to promote one of your activities, either with your civic group or your workplace or your church. We've got a free service to do that.
It's community calendar. It's on our website, and it's very easy to submit an event. There is something on your left-hand side. If you go to our website, moodyradio.org/Quad Cities, go to the left-hand side. After you hit community calendar, It will say submit an event. Now that comes here to our administrator, Nancy, who looks it over, and then she okays it, and it goes So
Right.
it might take a day or so,
Yeah.
but then it'll go live on our regular website.
Yes.
And you can look for activities there as well. And I did notice, Ken, that our bunch are coming through now
Yeah. That's very
because
cool.
things are starting to start up again. People
Right.
are starting to have activities at church or socially distanced activities.
Yeah.
And so they're putting them there on our community calendar. And you
Yeah.
can too.
That's right. Just go to moodyradio.org/Quad Cities and then click on community calendar and then submit an event or just do some browsing for different events that are there. 7-Eleven with Michael W. Smith. And here is Waymaker.
So Joe said, a police officer rapping on your window will cure that feeling of sleeping.
Yes.
Well, I had that happen, but not in a car.
Oh, yeah?
It was in college, and I went to one of my years in college. I went downtown Chicago for classes, and so I had time between classes and decided I'm going to go to the library. So I walked across town to the library. I sat down and I started to read. Well, it was something obviously not exciting, and I fell asleep. And I had somebody hit me on the back shoulder. And I looked around as a police officer, scared the living daylights out of me. And he said, "Did you know there's no loitering here? If you need to sleep, go somewhere else." Scared the living daylights out of me.
Officer, I was just reading.
Scared me. Oh my goodness. That just brought up that memory. But
Yeah, yeah.
So I've had that happen, Joe.
So-
Not in the car though.
Yeah. So Dave said, my favorite place to nap is my easy chair. I call him Big Blue.
Yeah, what is it with guys in their favorite chair?
Oh, man.
I don't see that as much with gals. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I just think guys have like their chair.
I've got a chair in my office that I frequently use. And it's a nice, easy chair. And my father-in-law had this one high-back leather recliner that he had. And I used to love going to their house when they had that because it was down in the basement. I remember it was down in the basement. Well, he's had it in a couple different places, but one place I remember is it was down in the basement. And so in the summer, it'd be really hot out, and you go downstairs, and it's nice and cool. And the chair, because it's leather, was cool.
Oh, yeah.
And so you climb into that leather chair, and you kick back, and it was so comfortable. I mean, it was all over. Especially if you have like a golf game on. You know? You just like zonked. I'd be out for hours. But yeah, that was I loved that chair, and it was really sad when he had to get rid of it. Yeah, that's one of my favorite spots that I've had over the years. Is the big leather chair.
So maybe you have a favorite spot, a favorite chair. Maybe you like sleeping in your car. I don't know. We talked
be.
about that.
Yeah, could be.
Just not while you're moving as far as driving. I mean, you can be a passenger. I've done a lot of snoozing as a passenger.
That's right. Heidi says, "I hope not in church."
Yeah, we didn't even bring that up.
Right? That's funny.
We have some stories about that too.
yeah.
Not me sleeping, but my dad used to start to fall into the aisle. My mom pull him back.
Wow. You know you're gone when you start falling into the aisle.
Well, he always sat on the end, so he'd start leaning. Jack.
That's funny. Michael W. Smith, there is Waymaker on Moody Radio Quad Cities with Ken and Deb here. Good morning. And so maybe you have had somebody in your life or multiple people who have shared the gospel with you over the years. So I was thinking about the different, you mentioned a minute ago that song by Greg Long talks about 15. And so I thought back over the years of all the different instances where I was exposed to the gospel. In high school, numerous times I can think of as I look back and I see how the gospel was presented to me in a way. I went to a Young Life meeting one time. Buddy and I, we thought it was just some party
Right.
at somebody's house, and so we were cruising around. And we said, "Hey, we heard there's a party going on over here." So we pull over and we go inside, and here's a bunch of people, and they're singing songs and and everything. And so we stayed for a while and kind of. I don't remember the message. I just remember that they were singing songs about God, and at that time I had no clue. And I think that the guy that was running it, gave a little bit of a message, and so we listened to him for a while, and then we left. Well, I just think about that. God's word was being proclaimed
Right.
during that time, and then another time, I was working at the airport in Billings, Montana. And there was a couple of guys that I worked with that were Christians. I didn't know it at the time, but they had preaching shows on TV on Sunday mornings while we worked
Okay.
in the office. And so they would
Wow.
have these shows on. So I was being exposed to God's Word during that time. And so I look back and I see how I was exposed to the gospel and God's Word. And remember, God's Word says that His Word will not return void.
Right.
And so I was exposed over and over and over to God's Word, and so it was powerful that it drew me in over the years. And I looked, and what? As soon as I accepted Christ, I think God started flooding these memories and back into my life. And so I started calling people that I knew
Wow.
were believers. I knew they were at that time because I could see it. And so I'd call them and let them know, hey, I just accepted Christ, and it was pretty cool to talk with some of those
Wow.
people. And I just thanked them for their, their witness. And so anyway, that was a very cool
Well,
time.
good for you for letting them know that you came to know the Lord. I mean, they probably didn't even realize the impact of their lives, or just inviting you to an event, or that sort of thing. They
Right, or
didn't
having
really-
TV on at
Have a
work.
TV on at work.
You
Those
know?
things. Yeah. I mean, they probably didn't even realize that. So
Right.
good for you for doing that. I'm sure that strengthened their faith,
I hope so.
as they continue to reach out. And it can be simple ways like that. Sometimes we hear people that listen to WDLM now say, well, I was introduced because it was always playing in my house or playing in the car, or my grandma had it on. It was my grandma's station. And,
Right.
and so they were being fed. They didn't even realize as they listened to the messages, gospel seeds are being planted.
That's right. So maybe you've got an experience about somebody that shared Christ with you. It doesn't have to be through radio or anything like that, but just who was it that maybe shared the gospel with you? Do you have a story? Let us know. 800-221-9356.
All right, Jordan, got to have a little piece of this.
Oh, I'm trying to think of that one guy's name. Well, Rich is one of the guys that I worked with that had the TV on at work. And then, I can see his face. And I actually bought my first car that I bought was from this guy. It was one of those little, I don't know if you remember the old Honda Civics. They looked like a bumblebee.
Yes,
The
yes.
bright yellow ones, you know?
I know what you're talking about.
That was my first car that I'd ever bought. I
I'm
bought
glad
it
you
from him.
survived.
They were great. It was so fun. It was like driving a golf cart, man. It was fun. Yeah. So those two guys were guys that I worked with on a regular basis on Sundays, and so they would have, I can't remember who it was, teaching programs on TV and stuff on Sundays. So
Now, here's something I admire. Jordan can actually sleep in an airplane. Good for him.
Oh, wow.
I have a hard time sleeping
I
in an
cannot
airplane.
sleep in an airplane. I mean, I've been on flights that are 12 plus hours, and I just could not fall asleep. It was just, I just couldn't do it. I mean, I might doze,
Right.
but not sleep.
It's so hard when you're in the middle seat
Yeah.
and you're just trying to not
Not.
go that way or that way. And you're like, what if my head wanders?
Yeah, that's
So
right.
you're just
That's
like,
right.
oh. What's really bad is when people on the either side of you are napping and you need to use the restroom. That's what's
Oh,
really
yeah.
awful.
Oh boy.
But anyway.
Yeah.
I digress.
Another story for another day.
Another story for another day. We want to hear your favorite napping place, or share with us who introduced you to Christ.
Yeah.
Who was it in your life that really planted the gospel seed
Sure.
that you've seen God grow and birth in you? And we'd love to hear that. You can give us a call or put right here on Facebook. Our phone number is 800-221-9356.
Or YouTube.
Or YouTube.
721 with Ken and Deb here. And if you are new to the area, or maybe you know somebody that is, and they're looking for some really good churches in the area that they could check out. Now, this is not an exhaustive list, but it's just a good starting place of some churches that preach the gospel and believe in, all the things of the Christian faith that the Bible talks about. And so we've got some of those churches on our website.
It's under area churches.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and be sure to, go to their website too to find out how they're doing the COVID-19. Some of them are
Right.
doing, online. Some of you have to register before you go to them.
Yes.
But this is a good starting point. If you're new to our area, just head over to area churches on our website at moodyradio.org/Quad Cities.
721, and it is a news update on the way next after Toby Mack and Cochran and Company. It's called Edge of My Seat on Moody Radio. Good morning.
Sorry, Jeremy, for some reason, when we are on Facebook Live, I forget you don't have to turn your microphone on. So I didn't think people could hear him, so that's why my little parrot. Our YouTube. I forget how things work. There's too many things we have going on.
There is.
Radio works one way, Facebook works another way. And then you got all the other ones. YouTube, pretty soon there's going to be all these other things too. They just keep multiplying. I've got applications, they're multiplying.
I
And
can't
I'm
remember what
losing
they are.
control.
Oh, you see, you've got us to singing now. Boy, it's to the end now. Oh, man. Well, we hope that you have a great Monday, despite our singing. And I just hope you have a great Monday. We'll be back tomorrow morning again for the mid-morning show coffee break at about 7 o'clock. So have a great day.